You know that feeling, right? When you're sitting right next to someone you love, but you feel like you're a million miles away. It's this weird, kind of lonely feeling, and believe it or not, it's at the heart of a conflict that happens on couches literally everywhere. So today, we're going to unpack this super common, but way deeper than you'd think dilemma. And we're going to use a viral Reddit post to do it.
Okay, just imagine this for a second. You're chilling on the couch with your partner, you're comfortable, and they turn to you and say, that. It doesn't really land like a simple question, does it? No way. It feels more like an accusation, like you're doing something wrong, that you're not really there. Well, this one little sentence kicked off a huge conversation online about what it even means to be together in the first place. All right, so here's the scene. It was laid out by a Reddit user, main character 0011. He's 28, his girlfriend is 25, they're on the couch, she's watching Netflix, he's not really into the show, so he just sits next to her and reads his book. Sounds totally normal, right? A simple, everyday scenario. But here's the catch. Every single time he does it, she gets annoyed. So he took to the internet with a simple question. Who's in the right here?
And let me tell you, as thousands and thousands of comments started pouring in, it was crystal clear this wasn't about just one couple. Oh no. This was a conflict that's playing out on couches everywhere. It's a classic dynamic that so many people recognized immediately.
But here's what's really fascinating. The top comments, they totally refused to pick a side. Nobody was like, he's right or she's right. Instead, the community dug deeper and diagnosed the real issue. This couple was working with two totally different definitions of the word together. I mean, yeah, they were in the same room, but mentally, they were having two completely different evenings.
So, this realization led to the first big breakthrough in the whole conversation. A concept that, honestly, just perfectly nails the problem. The huge difference between what people started calling parallel play and shared time.
Okay, so what do these terms actually mean? Well, as one user, Grins and Giggles, broke it down, parallel play is basically just being together while you're doing your own thing. You're enjoying each other's company, but you're not really interacting directly. Then you have shared time, and that's the opposite. That's when you're actively doing the same thing. You're watching the same movie, you're talking about the plot, and boom, that's the heart of the problem. He thought they were doing parallel play, but she was expecting shared time.
And for a lot of people, this whole idea of introverting together is like the ultimate goal in a relationship. It's peak comfort. It's a sign that your bond is so secure, you don't need to be talking all the time to feel connected. Just being in the same room, each doing your own thing, that is intimacy. It's a beautiful, peaceful coexistence.
But then, you've got the other side of the argument. For them, quality time has to be active. It's all about sharing an experience. Like user Top Slot Scott said, I want to crack jokes about it with you and enjoy it together. You want to be able to turn to your partner, laugh at the same joke, talk about what just happened. You want to feel like you're in it together. And for these folks, that silence of parallel play, it doesn't feel peaceful at all. It feels like being ignored.
So that begs the question, right? How can two people in the same relationship have such wildly different ideas about something so fundamental? Well, that very question led to the next brilliant insight from this thread, the power of unspoken, unwritten rules.
Yeah, a bunch of users pointed this out. We all walk around with these things called unexamined assumptions. Think of them like your personal relationship rulebook. These are all the beliefs you have about how relationships are supposed to work, and you get them from your family, from past relationships, or just, your own personality. The kicker is, we assume everyone else has the same rulebook, but they don't. And when your unexamined assumptions crash into your partner's, well, that's when you get a conflict.
So let's look at how that clash actually plays out in this case. For him, his assumption is all about the what. The what is, we're spending time together. Simple. But for her, her assumption is about the how. How are we spending time together? In her mind, they're not really with each other. He sees it as relaxing parallel play. She sees it as a shared activity that he's opting out of. And here's the thing, neither one is wrong. They just never actually talked about and agreed on the rules of the game.
And let me tell you, this concept is huge. One user, fullspectrum_, even said that figuring this out explains 95% of everything in relationships. And you know what? They might not be wrong. Once you start looking for these unexamined assumptions, you see them absolutely everywhere. It's not just about the couch. It's in fights about chores, how you spend holidays, money, everything.
Okay, so the diagnosis is pretty clear. Mismatched expectations fueled by unexamined assumptions. So what's the fix?
Well, the community came up with some really great ideas, and one of the most popular was this concept of finding a third thing.
This idea came from a user named Lambdaline. A third thing is basically a shared hobby or activity that belongs to both of you. It's not my thing or your thing, it's our thing. It can be literally anything, but the whole point is that it creates this reliable, go-to source of shared experience and connection for your relationship.
And the suggestions that people threw out there were fantastic and super practical too. I mean, the obvious one is finding a TV show you both actually like, but it could be anything. Reading the same book together, playing board games or video games, doing puzzles, even something as simple as going for a walk every night or having dinners where the phones are put away. It's all about that shared focus. Now, finding a third thing is a great long-term strategy. But what about solving the problem right now? How do you fix the immediate couch conflict? Well, for that, the top voted comment laid out this perfect, actionable blueprint for how to compromise.
It basically boils down to 3 simple steps. Step 1, schedule it. Actually plan for intentional date nights in to watch a show together. Step 2, make it feel special. Get some popcorn, maybe some nice drinks, dim the lights. This sends a clear signal that this isn't just background TV. This is dedicated, shared time. And step 3, which is maybe the most important, communicate clearly. He needs to be able to say, hey, I love just being here with you, but sometimes I really need to read to recharge. And she needs to be able to say, I get that, but I feel a little disconnected when we're not doing the same thing.
Because at the end of the day, the solution isn't about one person winning the argument. It's not about his way or her way. It's about realizing that both of their needs are totally valid. The need for that active connection and the need for that quiet, parallel play companionship. The real goal is to find a balance that makes room for both.
And all of this leaves us with a pretty deep question to think about, doesn't it? What is true intimacy, really? Is it about sharing a physical space in comfortable silence? Or is it about sharing a mental experience, fully engaged together? The real answer, as this whole Reddit thread so beautifully laid out, is that it's probably, and needs to be, a healthy mix of both.